Imagine if all your thoughts were recorded somewhere, rolled out onto one long strip of paper by an automatic printer. Imagine reading it. Reading this thought I'm having right now. How would it look written down? You could see exactly how your mind works. I wonder how other people's would read. Imagine if there was a separate printer, identical to the first, but, say, blue, which gave you a printout of other people's thoughts. Their thoughts about you.
So, I'm one of those girls that I see in the street going somewhere. I'm one of those girls that I've seen and then imagined them going to see their boyfriends. I wonder if anyone thinks I look like a girlfriend. I wonder if anyone is looking at me right now and guessing that I'm on my way to see him.
I always said I'm not that good at putting my feelings out there. You might be listening to what I'm saying, but you're not hearing me. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
So funny at school because I was playing this football match and I had the ball and I was like running in between loads of people and then I passed to someone and he was like running between loads of people and then he passed and then he did a sort of cross for me and then I got on the volley.
Where do all of our words go? Do you think we have these invisible speech bubbles coming out of our heads and then they get left behind in the air where we said them? What about all the old ones on the street? What happens to them? Maybe they all fall on top of each other, making a massive pile. Maybe we're walking through lots of old speech bubbles that people have left behind.
There's that smell again. How could you describe that? It's not damp, it's not floral, it's not cut grass, but it's quite strong. Maybe it's the smell of pollen. It always reminds me of that girl Aurora's house in Kensington, a woman with a strict Swedish father. Her hair seemed set, even though it was spring. I wonder if she ever imagined I'd be thinking about her now, having just smelt that tree. The Bloody Marys on Saturday afternoon, his head on my lap, wanting to feel his fingertips, walking down the high street, wearing my blue jumper, being a part of a couple. I wish we had danced in my room together. I wanted to show him my bed. I wanted to show him all my clothes. I wanted to see his room and hear him play. I'm only thinking about this, to keep it with me for just a little bit longer, before I forget the feel of it, before it becomes another one of my stories.
I cannot wait to see what this looks like from the outside. I just can't wait till this is just a stupid story and no longer a memory. But then I don't want to stop thinking about this, because then I have to face the reality of it being painful.
What was I thinking about earlier on? It was good. Oh yes, the blue printer. I like that phrase. The blue printer. Could be a film title, or the title of a book. Maybe my book. A book I've written. An autobiography. An autobiography that would have to show the reader how I'm always wondering what other people think of me. How one day, when I was driving along and daydreaming, without realising, I started to think about a machine which could print out thoughts other people had about me. And how that naturally led me on to thinking about writing a book about myself, with one of those clever titles, which only made sense once the moment of me driving and daydreaming and thinking about the blue printer was read in, say, chapter 9. And then how I gave it a colour to emphasise its importance. Like Batman's phone, only not red. I prefer blue.
So strange to think of her out there somewhere, completely unaware that I'm here, remembering the feeling of her home, the feeling of her presence, and she has absolutely no idea. Just to think of that brief day, and how now I'm completely remembering it, remembering something too quick for spoken words. All this time later, after walking past that blossom tree.
Maybe the new ones float up to the top of the pile. Maybe they get bigger and bigger as you keep talking. Then, when you say the last word, they all burst into millions of pieces and all float up to the top. Do you think that's why we think of so many things? Because we're all walking through what everybody else has already said.
Nisha, you were listening to me.
Sorry.
Yeah, and also, you know that goal in the Celtic.
What will happen when I leave? What if everything I've learnt here, everything I've taught myself, will I forget it all? I don't want to have to start teaching myself all over again. Everything around me here gives me so much, keeps me grounded. I don't want to have to start all over again somewhere new. Maybe I'll make mistakes. I often do. Especially when I don't know where I am.